Here are 3 USMLE-style questions focused on obligate intracellular organisms: Rickettsia, Chlamydia, and Coxiella, including their pathophysiology, diagnosis, and treatment. These organisms rely on host ATP and cannot survive without host cells. Question 1. Diagnosis and metabolism. A 22-year-old woman returns from a hiking trip in North Carolina with fever, headache, and a petechial rash beginning on her wrists and ankles. Lab testing is negative on gram stain. Which of the following best explains why the causative organism does not grow in standard culture? A. It lacks a cell wall. B. It lacks muramic acid in its peptidoglycan. C. It depends on host ATP for survival. D. It is a facultative intracellular organism. E. It is non-motile. Correct answer? C. It depends on host ATP for survival. Why? Rickettsia spp are obligate intracellular organisms that rely on host ATP, making them hard to culture using routine methods. Mycoplasma lacks a cell wall. B. Chlamydia lacks muramic acid. D. Rickettsia is obligate, not facultative. E. Not related to diagnostic challenge. Question 2. Chlamydia and intracellular life. A 25-year-old man is evaluated for urethritis. Nucleic acid amplification test confirms Chlamydia trachomatis. Which of the following features is characteristic of this organism? A. Replicates extracellularly in the urinary tract. B. Possesses a complete peptidoglycan cell wall. C. Produces its own ATP and NAD+. D. Exists as elementary bodies that enter host cells. E. Grows readily on blood agar. Correct answer, D. Exists as elementary bodies that enter host cells. Why? Chlamydia has a biphasic life cycle with infectious elementary bodies and intracellular reticulate bodies. It is obligate intracellular, cannot produce its own ATP, and lacks classic peptidoglycan. AC, incorrect, needs host ATP. B, lacks muramic acid. E, cannot grow on standard media. Question 3. Coxiella burnetii. A 42-year-old veterinarian presents with fever, headache, and hepatomegaly. He denies a rash. Serology reveals antibodies against Coxiella burnetii. Which of the following best describes this organism? A. Gram-positive spore-forming anaerobe. B. Facultative intracellular parasite. C. Obligate intracellular organism without a rash. D. Free-living spirochete. E. Protozoan parasite. Correct answer, C. Obligate intracellular organism without a rash. Why? Coxiella burnetii, the cause of Q fever, is an obligate intracellular pathogen transmitted via inhalation of aerosols from animal waste. Unlike Rickettsia, it does not cause a rash and is spore-like, aiding survival in the environment. A describes Clostridium. B. Coxiella is obligate, not facultative. D. E. Incorrect classification.